Hi, guys. This is Cindy Lane Ross with Socialize Your Business, and I have the pleasure of speaking with Miss Kristi Nicole Bush today with KNB Communications. Hey, Kristi.
Hi, it's so good to see you.
It is so good to see you. You know what? I feel like we're not even missing a beat. I get to see your beautiful face right here.
That's it. I know, right? At least we can see and talk this. If we can't hug, at least we can see.
Virtual hugs.
Virtual hugs.
So I'm really excited because during this time that we've had off on your social media, I've seen a little bit of spike in what you're doing, and you launched a podcast
Yes.
recently. So before we dig into the podcast, tell all of our viewers what KNB Production Communications is all about.
Yeah. So what I do is I educate parents and professionals about social media and how to keep our kids safe. That's really it in a nutshell. And so before the lockdown, I was doing a lot of professional conferences. I was going into a lot of school systems and then doing a lot of one-on-one with parents. But now with social distancing, that's looking a little bit different. I'm still educating, but I've moved it to the virtual platform, which has been really interesting. But the conferences that you would get if you came to one of my conferences, you can now get that virtually. But essentially, what I do is I inform parents, I empower parents, and then they go home and apply it. And so if you come to one of my conferences, you're going to get a very raw, very real look at what our children are doing online. And then you're going to get tips and tools that you can take home and immediately implement to make sure that your kids are safe online.
So how have you seen a little bit of shift since you've switched everything online as far as response?
Yeah, it's been different. I think right now what's going on is parents are incredibly overwhelmed. They are having to be teachers and, having to work from home and everybody's stuck in the same space. So I think there's a little bit of being overwhelmed right now. But I think that's starting to shift, especially as I'm on day 29. I don't know about you guys, but yeah, locked in.
Since March 15th here.
Yeah. So I think we're going to see that kind of shift a little bit, and parents are starting to become more open to talking to me about this. I'm starting to get a lot of messages. We're starting to see kids making just really, really bad decisions because they're stuck inside. Device time has gone up and they're bored. They're looking
I
for
was
that.
going to ask you that. Are you seeing a shift? Are you seeing a shift with your own kids?
It's one of those things that they're online more, but my kids are locked down a lot. So they don't have access to a lot of social media that a lot of their friends have access to. But I've given them grace in that space and understanding this is how our kids communicate right now. So I think we have to understand that is just make sure that we're checking those devices, looking at what they're doing.
So really, your job right now is probably more important than ever because of the time that people have on their hands. The kids have a lot of idle time that they normally wouldn't have. So really getting the message out there to the parents is really important. I'm so happy that you're launching the podcast.
Yeah, the podcast has been 6 months in the making. I never had any time to really sit down and drill into it. And so, silver lining with all of this lockdown, it gave me the time to do it, right? So, sat down and put it out, and it's all over. I think it's Anchor, Spotify, Google Podcasts,
I'm looking at it right now.
everywhere.
You
Yeah.
have it on well, Spotify, iCloud yeah, iTunes as well.
Yeah, it's everywhere. Like there's I think 7, it keeps coming back to me. There's like 7 different places.
Beautiful.
So,
And it's called Protect Our Kids with Kristi Bush, right?
yep. Yes.
Easy
That's
to find. And I'll make sure that I will post all the links on this post when I put it out to all the social media outlets.
awesome. That would be
Um,
great.
and website. Do you have a website live?
Do knbcommunications.com. You can find all of my information on there. I've got to get the podcast information put on there this week. But if anybody needs to get in contact with me or if they need any information, I've got a blog on there that I do as well. So they can find a lot of really great resources there.
I actually may even check it out for my niece while I have my niece here, just so I'm more informed because I always think that, she's mature enough, but at 11 and 12 years old, probably not as mature as what we think that they are.
Yeah, it's, they're seeing a lot of adult content, but their little brains aren't, capable of processing all that yet. So I think it's really important that we pay attention to the space they're sitting in and making sure they're safe.
Absolutely. So, Kristi, personal question. What's one thing that you missed the most since the pandemic?
Don't laugh. I know what you think it's going to be, but it is not. It is not shopping. There's 2 things that I miss so much. I can't just drill it down to one, and that is travel because I was traveling so much with my job. I was all over the place. I missed seeing everybody, being in different communities, being around everyone. And then by nature for me, if I'm around others, I'm hugging. And so I just miss that contact with people.
You're like the second person in like 2 days that said that, and I've been saying it for a week that I didn't realize how much of a hugger I was.
Yes, I know, right? Learning a lot of things about myself during this lockdown.
Jason likes this time because he's never been about the handshake. He's always fist bumping. He's like, now everybody's on my team.
Elbow bump, fist
Yes,
bump. Yeah, I
exactly. Hey, Kristi, do you have an inspirational message to get out to all your viewers and followers?
Yeah, I've been telling my parents, just give yourself some grace. Give yourself some grace, give your kids some grace. We've never had to experience anything like this. It is hard. There's not a template for it. We don't know what to do. There's no perfect way to move through this. There's no perfect way to handle social media. There's no perfect way to educate your kids. Just give yourself some grace. If you feel like having a down day, that's okay. You can have a down day. And then the days that you're really doing well and doing great, then expand on those. I think we just have to get off we're supposed to be perfect in this and there's supposed to be a lesson in it. I think the lesson is we just give ourselves some grace.
Absolutely. That's a great message. Can you tell everyone how they can find you?
Yes, absolutely. So you can go to my website, which is knbcommunications.com. You can call me 770-558-9931. Of course, the podcast on Facebook. I run a page called Crack the Code. Very easy to message me there. Lots of really great information that I post on there very frequently as well.
And I'll make sure that I post that one on there as well. Awesome. Okay. And website one more time.
Yep. It's knbcommunications.com. And like I said, there's tons of stuff on there.
Thank you so much for all the useful information.
You are so
I'm
welcome.
so excited for your podcast. I can't wait to listen.
I know. Listen, on Monday, my first guest is Christina Bolin, and we've already recorded it, but it is about telehealth medicine, how to keep your family safe, how to keep your kids safe. Amazing information on there. So I'm gonna put that out there on Monday. So first one.
That's awesome. I can't wait to see it.
Yep.
Thanks,
So much.
Kristi.
Thank you.
Happy Easter.
Happy Easter.
Bye.